Well, you can look at here. Look.
Ironically, it seems that some of the most credible UFO footage
Beer bottles thrown. Look at my windshield.
Comes from people with the most incredible stories.
What would you think if somebody was throwing beer bottles at your house?
Many of these stories not only involve alien contact,
stand out in the middle of the road screaming.
They describe an ongoing dialogue between these alleged aliens and the contactees.
You're nut, you're fanatic, and all that. What would you think?
Now, the dilemma for UFO investigators is simple.
Are you sorry now that you did tell people what you saw?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry because
If this footage is real, then could these alien messages be real as well?
Not that it's not the truth, but it's just the idea, the reaction of the people.
This is a photograph of a flying saucer taken by myself.
They think you're a nut.
And it reminded me of two straw hats stuck together at the brim.
Tell you the truth, that's just what they figure you are.
We've all seen images of UFOs that look too good to be true.
And I'm not going to take it anymore. I don't want nobody down in here. I just...
What are they? We've all seen other images.
Leave me alone. And if the thing lands right there by that pump, I'd never say a word. Then he got out and talked to me. I wouldn't tell nobody.
That are so murky as to almost be incomprehensible.
That's just the way I feel. I'm bitter and disgusted in the whole matter.
But they come from sources that are unimpeachable. Just what should we believe?
And if people's going to act like that, I hope one lands right in Ann Arbor, right in the middle of Detroit.
I think the UFO phenomenon almost aims. We're living in a time when there's clearly a growing fascination for clarity and obscurity at the same time. A growing increase in this phenomenon. It's almost as if it has an intention. Some of the most interesting footage is now coming to clarify and to muddy the waters. Not from films, but videotapes from people who have their camcorder in precisely the same moment. The photos appear to be they can be interpreted as craft, and it does not appear to be a satellite or some of the better ones, some of the more clear ones, clearly look to be like what we've come to expect craft to look like.
You are listening to
Mutations.
Mid-Valley
Mutations.
Citations. Mutations.
On Sheena's Jungle Room.
Mid-Valley.
Another UFO. Supplemental.
Part of the WFMU family of products.
Mutations.
And a mighty good hello to everyone out in Radio Land. And in particular, our digital salon. Including JM in Texas. Oh, hey, buddy, how's it going? Always appreciate hearing from JM in Texas. If this is the way your lifestyle happens to work out, and you get a package in the mail from JM in Texas, you are living large. I gotta say, he delivers good packages. Let me tell you. Imaginos and Bandit, hello. Thank you so much for hanging out. Always nice to see you too. And Mr. X, hey, Nanu yourself, good sir. I was just listening to some recordings that we made regarding this very subject, and it's not going to appear in this show, but soon a conversation between Mr. X and myself regarding the subject matter at hand will appear on this show. And what is that subject? Well, it is another UFO supplemental, because I feel as if our good friend Don Joyce has already weighed in on the subject in some of the most spectacular ways. And so I don't necessarily want to suggest that I am continuing the work that he did, merely supplementing the work that he did. So, because I could never, I would never suggest that I yeah. Anyway. So yes, another UFO supplemental. We're continuing the work we did a little bit ago. In fact, this is our third installment. I have done 2 previous ones. I'll put some links in the digital salon at some point. But we're kind of continuing that vibe, and we have as we have been before, using some samples from a Pacific Northwest 90s documentary made from a TV news station in Portland about the Roswell landing. And we've been playing samples from that documentary, mixed in with some other well-known UFO documentary samples. And so we're going to continue in that vein with some music and songs about UFOs and things like that. Audience participation is happening this evening as well. So if you want to get in on the mix after the next song plays and the collage kicks in, the lines will be open, and I will say probably something to that effect as well. So bit.ly/MVM audience participation. You want to get in on this and give us a call. Talk about your UFO experiences, or if you want to just comment on the UFO experiences that you're hearing about, that works too. Maybe you want to make some sounds, sing along, what have you. The lines will be open, let's just say. I'm going to try to get some Earth versus the Flying Saucers into the mix, as well as Chris O suggests. Chris O just recently saw that film on TCM, a channel I keep talking about wanting to get, because it is basically a channel airing every movie I want to see. Yeah. It's some good stuff. Yeah, it's the new year, our first show of the new year. I am going to try my hardest. We're going to see how successful I am after I make this this comment. I'm going to try my hardest to see how long I can go this year before I have to play a rerun. I have, unfortunately, in the last several years, gotten pretty into the habit of playing reruns now and then to help flesh out my schedule. I often try to do a little something on the rerun to make it slightly unique, little edit or a little addition here, a little cut there, whatever. Try to make it different so that it's not the same thing you heard before, although there's only so much you can do. So I would like to try to avoid that this year. And I think I got a good system in place now for not having to do reruns unless I want to. So I'm kicking things off this year. I'm going to see how long I can go before I play something that I have played on the show before. Well, we'll see. We'll see how we can. I mean, a full show. I mean, I'm probably going to repeat songs at some point. Yeah, I naively, when I launched this show in the 90s, thought, I'll never play the same song twice. Why would I do that? There's so many songs. Now I realize, sometimes playing a song that people know gives something a little oomph that, well, anyway. Yeah. Another UFO. If you've got something that you want to kick in to our UFO mix, please let's hear it. I'd like to see where we can take this one. It's Sheena's Jungle Room, WFMU, and you're listening to Mid-Valley Mutations. And let's see where we can take this thing.
a thrill if you want to see the sights. Jump right in. I got an unidentified flying object. Yeah, let's go for a spin. We're going UFOing. We're trying saucer flying. We'll glide across the skies. Nobody will believe their eyes. Just when they think they've seen us, we'll zoom away to Venus. One moment we're in Mexico, like that we're over Idaho. Just tell me where you want to go in my UFO. We're going UFOing. We're trying saucer flying. We'll glide across the skies. Nobody will believe their eyes. Just when they think they've seen us, we'll zoom away to Venus. One moment we're in Mexico, like that we're over Idaho. Just tell me where you want to go in my UFO. We're going UFOing. We're trying saucer flying. We'll glide across the sky. Nobody will believe their eyes. Just when they think they've seen us, we'll zoom away to Venus. One moment we're in Mexico, like that we're over Idaho. Just tell me where you want to go in my UFO. We're going UFOing. We're trying saucer flying. We'll glide across the skies. Nobody will believe their eyes. Just when they think they've seen us, we'll zoom away to Venus. One moment we're in Mexico, like that we're over Idaho. Just tell me where you want to go in my UFO.
Mid-Valley
Another UFO
Mutations.
Supplemental.
We saw what appeared to be a flying saucer.
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new.
We saw what appeared to be a flying saucer.
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new.
Fact or fiction? Psychiatrists often call these reported UFO sightings illusions, hallucinations, self-delusions. Fact or fiction?
While there is nothing conclusive in the evidence, the probing and digesting of information about UFOs continues unceasingly.
We saw what appeared to be a flying saucer. That's all we can say.
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new.
There are a lot of things that haven't been talked about that unless you see the whole length of the footage, you don't get a full appreciation of. Somebody has done a body proportions approach, length of limbs, width of shoulders, and it matches Earthlings perfectly.
Audience participation. bit.ly/MVM audience participation. Join us.
Well, it is very typical that it is a rash, because if you get one report, you get a clutch of other reports following it. Well, it is very typical that it is a rash.
Can you hear something?
Because if you get one report, you get a clutch of other reports following it.
And one possibility, there is one disturbing thing, and I think the doctor will agree, there's no belly button. And one possibility, there is one disturbing thing, and I think the doctor will agree, there's no belly button.
It feeds on itself, and the main problem there is that the term flying saucer, or to go official about it, UFO, has produced a label. In the past, if somebody saw a streak of light in the sky, which he couldn't understand and which didn't interest him very much, well, he might have told his wife that he saw a streak of light. Most likely he didn't.
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new.
And all Earthlings supposedly have belly buttons. So, but what it could be is a male used as the mold and didn't want his genital area covered with this gunk that you use. So they built up a belly and didn't put a belly button in it.
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new.
But the widths of the shoulders, everything about it, the peculiarities of human physiology, in other words, are perfectly obvious. I should add, nobody who's connected with the Roswell story, and Mr. Santilli has said, well, it was over near Socorro in May 31st, 1947, which would mean it had nothing to do with Roswell. But nobody connected with it has described beings like that.
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new.
But now that he has a label to put to it, he comes home and tells his wife, his children, his neighbors, the policeman on duty, and a few other people that he saw a flying saucer.
In the days to come, many more people will cite many more flying saucers.
But nobody connected with it has described beings like that. Four fingers, no thumb. This has 6 total. So it doesn't match. The wreckage doesn't match. You didn't see much of the wreckage here. You didn't see any, but
To some, these UFOs will be miracles. To others, real but unexplainable.
Because of recent scientific advances, it is now possible to realize an ancient dream, the exploration of outer space.
Well, let's go to Cal here, because Cal, you're actually being paid to chart this authenticity. Well, let's go to Cal here, because Cal, you're actually being paid to chart this authenticity.
To most scientists, natural phenomena. Some people will be fooled. Others will try to fool the rest.
Because of recent scientific advances, it is now possible to realize an ancient dream, the exploration of outer space.
But a few will be expert observers. Their sightings will keep the controversy churning over whether vehicles from outer space are possible and whether indeed these vehicles already have arrived here.
Of this videotape. What have you discovered so far?
Well, I'm about 3 months away from finishing my analysis, just because with my book out and the amount of detailed work I have to do, it takes about 6 months. I'm about halfway through it. The reality is Kiviat Productions, which did the show, gave me everything that they purchased from Santilli. So I'm the only person, for better or for worse, that has the stuff. And there's stuff in there that I've seen that they haven't aired yet. Kvyat seems to want to get to the bottom of it now. The guilty party in here that's playing games is Ray Santilli.
We turn to that part of the UFO story in a moment.
You forgot to turn it off.
Here again is CBS News correspondent Walter Cronkite.
And I have found evidence in the footage both for and against its authenticity, but Kvyat at least has allowed this stuff to air on this up special.
What way are you leaning right now as of tonight? I know your investigation isn't complete.
There are more things in heaven and earth, says Shakespeare's Hamlet, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. On the other hand, there may be less there than often meets the eye.
At this point in time, if it were over, I would say, because I found conclusive evidence of digital manipulation, that it cannot be real footage because that technology did not exist. And having been on Apple's HyperCard team or Claris's HyperCard team, I'm a slight computer nerd. I know digital manipulation when I see it.
On the other hand, there may be less there than often meets the eye.
Turned it off afterwards.
The oceanographer and meteorologist Athelstan Spielhaus.
In the very early times, people didn't understand the majestic kind of catastrophes of nature. If a volcano blew its head and destroyed a village, primitive people used to think of it as some enlarged monster, some enlargement of a thing that was familiar to them, like a wild animal or something.
Persistent reports of UFOs, unidentified flying objects which we have come to know as flying saucers.
I was driving along a moonlit night when I saw a flying saucer in full flight. Now I parked my car when it started to land, and she jumped out walking on her hands. She was Space Girl, lovely Space Girl. Now she came my way, what a sight to see. And I was scared and she said to me, if my navigation's running true, it's planet Earth, but what are you? So said Space Girl, lovely Space Girl.
At this point in time, if it
Never forget that night I first saw Space Girl. She looked so cute standing there with that little antenna growing out of the back of her head. She could get 8 television stations, and that's hard to do without a set. And her beautiful red hair growing all over her face. And what measurements she had! 35, 23, 0. So what if she was only 2 feet high? Who likes tall girls? I guess I nearly melted when she looked at me with those beautiful blue eyes of hers. All 14 of them. And that little purple light in her forehead kept flashing on and off in Morse code. I love you, Earth Boy. I love you, Earth Boy. I love you, Earth Boy! And then I knew she was all mine! And then, suddenly, it happened! As I held her tenderly in my arms, she disintegrated.
I'll never see Space Girl again, for she couldn't breathe our oxygen. But my heart is heavy despite the cost. 'Twas better far to love than lost. Goodbye, Space Girl, lovely Space Girl.
Now that you're married, Dr. Martin, the first thing you've got to learn is no more passes as the secretary during business hours.
But UFO sightings persist, and skeptics often become confirmed believers. The oceanographer and meteorologist Athelstan Spielhaus.
In the very early times, people didn't understand the majestic kind of catastrophes of nature. If a volcano blew its head and destroyed a village, primitive people used to think of it as some enlarged monster.
One piece of concrete evidence.
Rocket number 11 will be launched in 20 minutes.
Some enlargement of a thing that was familiar to them, like a wild animal or something. In other words, they interpreted this ununderstandable, rather fearsome thing in terms of their present knowledge.
At this point in time, if it were over, I would say, because I found conclusive evidence of digital manipulation, that it cannot be real footage because that technology did not exist. And having been on Apple's HyperCard team or Claris's HyperCard team, I'm a slight computer nerd. I know digital manipulation when I see it.
Primitivist was. From there you get into medieval times with a sort of resurgence of mysticism and religious fervor. And I suppose if people saw unexplained things in the sky in those days, they explained them as miracles.
All will be studied and analyzed.
Well, then you get to today, and we're on the brink of interplanetary travel. And so we begin to see things in the sky again that we can't understand or can't explain immediately. So we explain them again with this sort of colossal egotism of man at his present time.
The film grain quality on it was embellished by increasing the contrast. There are patterns on the frames that if it were real film grain, they would not be identical from frame to frame.
Oh, we'll leave it for now. Come on, we just got time to get to the bunker.
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new.
We explain them in terms of our latest ability, namely on the brink of space travel, these must be spaceships.
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new.
But you'll come out in about 3 months with your final.
Yeah, right now my
analysis.
draft of the report's about 128 pages, and that's
Wow.
before I've finished the rest of the frame of the
You think it'll be as thick as that Air Force book when you're done?
I don't know. But
But then only a few years ago, this would have been called an optical illusion. Or it might have been called a miracle.
General Hanley reporting to Project Skyhook. Now make it fast, will you? I'm in a hurry. Nope.
In 20 minutes.
Oh, we'll leave it for now. Come on, we just got time to get to the bunker.
But I'm looking forward to getting the data out to the public, because for the first time ever, we don't need to depend on Ray Santilli anymore to get to the bottom of it, and that's all I really care about.
General Hanley reporting to Project Skyher. Now make it fast, will you? I'm in a hurry.
Nope.
You hear something? You hear something?
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Did you know that this whole Roswell incident is one of the hottest things on computer? The homepage, the Roswell homepage, it is hot, hot, hot.
Go out in, sir. There's a rocket taking off now.
That's what I want to stop. Let me speak to Dr. Russell Marvin.
But a man being powered through the air without benefit of plane or balloon is today a reality. Tomorrow, he may even be a traffic problem.
It's a hot topic, and we're the only place in the world that can lay claim to it.
Tomorrow, he may even be a traffic problem.
And is the government hiding evidence of UFOs? Results of our town hall telepoll still ahead tonight. Stay with us.
There are jets that can rise straight up and then hover, like this British Hawker P-1127. The French also have experimented in this field. This is the Balzac, not a UFO.
And little things like the UFO puts your town on the map.
Welcome back as Town Hall investigates the mystery at Roswell. A little thing like a UFO does put a town on a map. Did a UFO really crash in Roswell? 50 years later, the question draws hundreds of people a year to the New Mexico desert and millions every week to a new website on the internet. Take a look.
The French also have experimented in this field. This is the Balzac, not a UFO.
Westgate to bunker number 2. Dr. Marvin.
Bunker number 2, Marvin speaking.
This is the Westgate, sir. General Handley wants you.
Oh, put him on. Carol.
The Germans also are doing it. This is the EWR. Here it comes in for a landing. EWR, not UFO. The American XV-5A, built by Ryan, not only flies straight up and down, it also flies sideways and backwards.
Website on the internet. Take a look.
It completely blew us all away here in the office.
Jim Fuller created the Roswell webpage 2 months ago. Within a few weeks, it ranked in the top 10 of the most popular internet sites in the world.
Northrop's wingless M2F2, otherwise known as the Flying Bathtub. Is NASA's lifting reentry body, half plane, half spacecraft, landing like a conventional jet without power. Another wingless piece of airborne hardware is this lunar landing research vehicle at NASA's Research Center.
Oh, put him on. Carol, it's your father.
Calling from Panama?
No, right here at the project.
On an average of 30,000 requests per hour, which totals out to 720,000 per day.
You heard right. He said 720,000 per day.
Hello. Well, welcome home, General. What's the news from Panama?
It's bad, I'm afraid. I think you ought to hear what I found before you send up another rocket.
Looking more like a giant flying ant that might have come out of a Martian comic book. It will be used when we get to the moon.
So what's made the Roswell webpage an international hit?
We're using the alien mystique, I guess, and running with it. And after people find out that it's not just another UFO page that's filled with the same pictures that you find all over the internet, they actually want to stay here and learn more about Roswell.
Small wonder that laymen seeing such things in newspapers, aviation, and trade journals, as well as in newsreels and on television, are ever more ready to believe anything. For if these are real, then others, more incredible, are most probably being tested in secret.
Can you possibly put it off? Well, I'm afraid I can't. We're tied to a definite schedule of launchings. Wait a minute. There's something else I want to... just a minute.
However, all these vehicles operate within the laws of physics and aerodynamics, even though they may give the appearance of operating outside the laws of nature.
Browsers get their Roswell UFO fix and a lot more.
But ufologists still insist there is more to it than this.
Hi, Dad.
What is it, honey?
I just wanted to hear your voice and tell you Russ and I were married last night.
Browsers get their Roswell UFO fix and a lot more.
But ufologists still insist there is more to it than this.
They will report to us by radio, thus providing primary information needed to prepare the way for our ascent into space.
And so there is. At England's Victoria and Albert Museum, CBS correspondent Frank Kern spoke to aeronautical historian Charles Harbert Gibbs Smith.
Since biblical times, man has witnessed and recorded strange manifestations in the sky.
They also learn the history of the area, a rundown of the town's cultural events, and a list of motels.
Since biblical times, man has witnessed and recorded strange manifestations in the sky.
Fact or fiction, myth, menace, or marsh gas.
You hear something?
Lost in space, above or drifting to a place where planets shift and the moon
finest of motels. But Jim Fuller pays a price for the page's popularity.
My position now, I think, is that I believe...
I'm just pretending to care, like I'm not even there. Gone, but I don't know where. Gone, but I don't know where. Gone, but I don't
Mid-Valley
Another UFO.
Mutations.
Supplemental.
Whew. Nice to see y'all back here in the digital salon. It's Mid-Valley Mutations on Sheena's Jungle Room. WFMU. And this is another UFO supplemental. We got the mix going, and some audience participation is possible. This is a live one. I'm mixing live anyway, trying to keep it footloose and fancy free, as they say. And we got a pretty good digital salon going on. People hanging out and chatting about the show and stuff. Unfortunately, when I do a program like this, I am not in a position to respond very quickly to people who are commenting, and that is one of the unfortunate parts of doing this show. But it looks like Jeff, you joined in before I was able to make a comment. So hello, Jeff. I always love when you are able to listen, because you and I seem to a little simpatico on a lot of things. So. Imaginos may have already gone off to bed. It is unfortunate. It is so late for them compared to the time it is for me. So we are like ships passing in the night in some ways. Chris O makes a comment. The voice of Hugh Marlowe is like butter. Oh. Oh, Mr. X makes an interesting comment here. It says his friend Eric says that flying saucers are able to defy gravity because they have a gyroscope within a gyroscope inside the flying saucer. So let me see if I can get this straight. There's a gyroscope inside of a gyroscope, and that allows the saucer to defy gravity. I'm going to be thinking about that one for a while, I think. Bandit says, sometimes I believe the angels seen by people in the past are extraterrestrial, not angelic beings. Though that goes down the path of UFO cults and whatnot. Bandit, you were kind of getting into something that I will be addressing when Mr. X and I have our conversation about UFOs in a future episode. We're going to run through some UFO stuff for a few weeks here, so I think it's going to be either next week or the week after, question mark? I'm trying to remember when I decided to put that in. And then we got more Roswell talk here in the digital salon. Mr. X says, I read somewhere that wreckage from the Roswell site led to the invention of Mylar, though I suspect it was the other way around. Mylar had already been invented and it was not well known, and Roswell was a crashed weather balloon made out of Mylar. Yeah, I think you are getting at something that we may have already had played in conversation in a previous installment of this series, but yeah, I think they did discuss the material of the weather balloons and whatnot, being something like that. Oh yeah, and then Bandit says, of course, in Star Trek Enterprise, they believe that the Vulcans invented Velcro. Oh, which was probably true. And there's some mysterious lights that Bandit was talking about here that we're seeing recently, and there's a link in the digital salon that gives news about the mysterious lights, and that is very relevant. Thank you, Bandit. Love talking to people in the digital salon, but we can't just do that all night long because we got a whole 2 more hours of show left to bring you here on another UFO supplemental, trying to follow a little bit in the footsteps of where Mr. Don Joyce would occasionally take us on his show. If I recall correctly, his another UFO series was sort of based on a lot of different coast-to-coast phone calls and things like that, and so that is my memory of many of those episodes of another UFO. But he was always finding interesting recordings and things like that of different UFO content and UFO conversations and things like that. And so I certainly recall hearing some odd inclusions here and there on his show, and I always appreciated that. Jeff, you have often commented that this is your kind of dinner time situation where you're making dinner around this time of night. So you never have to apologize, but you just appreciate that you're listening, and that's really what it's all about. Well, I do want to pose a question to those in the digital salon, and I will include a link to go with this. Let's see here. What should I call this? The video in question is what I will call it. I have had the ability for a little while now to record visually the shows as I do them. And the only reason that this is interesting is because I am doing live mixing. I am doing collage and paste, and I'm playing synthesizers and stuff like that. I'm playing that live and all sorts of stuff. And so my point being is that I thought it might be interesting for those who were curious to see what this looks like to offer a video. And so this isn't in real time. This is actually a video of last week's show, the last show of 2025. And so you can see the entire show. There's a camera pointed at the gear, so you can kind of see what I'm doing and as I'm doing it. And I guess my question is this interesting to people? Want to see this? Is this actually illuminating? Am I spoiling the broth or what have you? There's a part of me that kind of isn't quite sure if I need to be spending the time doing this, because making a long video isn't entirely self-sustaining. I got to put a little effort into it. But, for example, if there were people out there who were like, I really do want to see how the mix happens, then this video would answer that question. So I guess my question to you is, do you want to see more stuff like this? Should I pursue trying to figure out a way to do this in real time so that you could actually watch this while I'm doing it live? I guess that would require some sort of Discord-style setup or something. But I guess I want to know how much interest there is in something like this, because I would do it more if there was. If not, I may just kind of consider this an interesting novelty and move on. I mean, certainly running video and whatnot is not necessarily what radio is about. So I don't want to make this show about that. But if it is interesting, then yes, we should roll with it. Drowsy seems to be having an interesting time playing this show and the YouTube video at the same time. I wonder what that would be like. Probably pretty interesting. We got Mr. X only if the cats are in it. I have long discussed the problem with the cats in the studio is that they want attention more than they want to just hang out and whatnot, and so like they start like batting at things and knocking things off of tables, and the lava lamps will be at risk if I have them in here. So I tend to keep them out, but I may try to bring them in at the beginnings. How about that? I may make an effort to bring them in so we can say hi to them at the beginning of the show and then kick them out when it's time to get serious. Hey, Laura Panic has joined us. Thank you so much, Laura Panic. It's always nice to have you listening to the program. Well, we got another UFO. We got audience participation happening. If you want to call in and get in on the show, that's always a possibility. Yeah, what can I say? I guess I should probably get back to it. It's Mid-Valley Mutations here on Sheena's Jungle Room, WFMU. And we're having a good old time trying to figure out what to do with another UFO.
And a list of motels, but Jim Fuller pays a price for the page's popularity.
Mid-Valley
Another UFO.
Mutations.
Supplemental.
Somewhere in the neighborhood of 700 letters per day, email messages per day that I have to go through and weed out.
Wow, can you believe 700 email messages a day, 30,000 requests a day, an hour, boy, 700 something thousand a day. Isn't that incredible? That is the interest this Roswell incident has generated across the country and the world.
Forgive us for not letting you know, darling. I've got to hang up. Let's have dinner tonight. Can you? Don't forget.
Now, I was down there in Roswell, and I got to tell you, they are the greatest people, and I really, really love this man named Hub Corn. Who is Hub Corn? Well, Hub used to just be a rancher out there, but a few years ago they said, Hub, on your land is the impact site where this UFO crashed, the main impact site. And so here's a little time we spent with Hub Corn. Listen. Listen up.
My position now, I think, is that I believe that about 5% of these things are interplanetary. That is, they come to us from a world outside our planetary system, and that some of them are in fact inhabited by intelligent beings of some kind. And some look as if they're remotely controlled. After all, who really do we think we are? We're a fifth-rate, miserable, measly little system out on the edge of the Milky Way, fooling around the universe with 4,000 or 5,000 years of so-called civilization behind us. We think we are the cat's whiskers, and we are not. We're a potty, second-rate lot, fifth-rate lot.
Am I coming through?
Hello. How's it going? It sounds like we got a caller.
Greetings.
Hi. How's it going out there? It's lovely to have you on the show.
It's going pretty well. I called in last time. It's your old buddy Kildar.
Oh, hey, how's it going? It has been a little while, so I forgot. Thank you so much for calling back. How are you?
Well, just zooming about outer space.
Very cool, very cool. Well, I hope you're enjoying our program.
I am. I know you were going to talk more about more UFOs.
Yeah.
Thought I'd join in the conversation again.
Thank you so much.
Anybody has any questions for us extraterrestrials? I guess it would be no. Would I be a terrestrial? Would I not be a terrestrial?
I mean, if you're
getting existential.
I think if you're from our planet, because we are Terra, so I think if you're from Earth, you're terrestrial. But
oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm from Zornax, so.
Yeah. So you would be extra, but
yeah, I am a bit extra. Some have said.
I see. Well, maybe if people have questions for you, they can leave their comments in the digital salon, and I can relay them that way, because we can make it a little interactive here. I guess my first question is, what do you think of all this Roswell stuff? I mean, people here on Earth have been obsessing over this stuff for years. Like, do you have any thoughts?
Roswell, that's that desert you Earth people have, yeah?
Yeah. We had like that crash in the desert, and people have been arguing for years whether or not it was a weather balloon or an actual UFO with possibly even like alien bodies.
Oh, yeah, that was a UFO. Yeah.
Oh, you can verify.
Yeah, that was Jeff.
Oh, you know him? Oh, wow.
Oh, I don't know him. I know him by reputation. Not the best, pilot. If you catch my antennae.
I see. So Jeff has a little bit of a reckless reputation, as they say.
He didn't pass his ship license test fairly, if you know what I mean. He slipped the instructor a few credits under the table. He didn't hear that from me, though.
I see. So he didn't even get like a passing grade. He got a caching grade.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Well, I got a question here, actually, from the Digital Salon. Mr. X is curious, what is the color of the sky on Zornak?
I would say it's like a maroon. You guys know what maroon is, or a Carfinkel? A very dark Carfinkel or maroon.
Okay, I like that. We usually get maroon, kind of red skies when it's like stormy weather.
Okay.
Okay. Like kind of like, especially at night when like the sun is setting, we'll also get kind of like red skies in that way. But for the most part, we have blue sky. So.
Yeah, it's that color all the time.
Oh, very cool. Even at night.
Yep. No, at night it's dark. You see the stars and stuff like that.
I see.
Yeah. Like any other planet, it's dark.
So you're telling us earlier that Jeff most likely was cruising around what do you call it, hot rodding, and
hot rodding would be an appropriate term.
I see.
That Earthlings would understand. Yeah.
So that was basically what happened with Roswell, is that we
essentially, yeah, as lore as the the lay of the land goes. Not land. The story goes. At airflow passed his ship test, went joyriding, and crashed on Earth.
Wow.
And we never really heard from him since. We just kind of assumed that either he acclimated to y'all's society or died.
So it is possible that Jeff could be living among us.
The most information I have is, the story from a friend. That was so long ago.
I see. Yeah. I it's not necessarily even relevant, because a lot of this Roswell stuff is kind of like hokey Earth takes on all of it, and since we don't really have facts, we don't need to get into it. Anything else bring you to give us a call? What's on your mind?
Well, I was tuning in my inner roster, and like I said, I was hearing the show and was quite amused by all the hot takes of the Earth Earth's perception of aliens like it was last time I tuned in.
Yeah, we can get a little we get a little silly with our observations and whatnot. So I'm not surprised that you're a little shocked by what we think.
Not shocked, more amused. Have you guys interacted with those blonde-haired aliens with the blue eyes and they kind of resemble your Earth's Vikings?
I think I've seen a few of them around, but I didn't realize they were aliens.
Well, I mean, I don't think everybody like that is an alien, but like, you know, there's a type that look like that. I can't think of their name offhand.
I see.
What about the gray ones? Have you seen any gray ones?
Not outside of television, but of course, I tend to. I don't go out very much, so they might not be interested in me. So.
Fair enough. Yeah, usually they can get pretty testy, the gray ones.
I see. Yeah, they're the ones that are often kind of like appear to people out in the middle of a field somewhere where it's hard to substantiate their appearance. So.
Yeah. I do remember hearing on your show about how how apparently aliens are very into abduction and taking of cows.
Yeah. That certainly is a phenomenon that a lot of people have been curious about. It's still kind of unsure whether or not the cow mutilations are, aliens or some other kind of thing. So I think there's still kind of a unsolved mystery, as they say.
Well, I can't speak for all aliens, but I can speak for myself. I do enjoy a good hunk of meat every once in a while. Good hamburger.
Oh, so this is more of kind of like just a barbecue kind of situation where you guys are looking for a little grub.
I mean, that's for me. Everybody's got to eat.
I see.
But some people get real weird with it. You know what I mean?
This is true. We usually have to kind of keep an eye on that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, you don't want to get too weird with that type of stuff.
Yeah, this is really fascinating. I'm trying to think of other things that I've always wanted to ask aliens, but now that I'm on the spot, I feel like we could just hang out and chat. Like I don't really have to know the answers to the mysteries of the world.
That's fair.
Yeah, you just seem like another regular guy, which I kind of like.
Pretty down to Zornak, so to speak.
Yeah. You're not some sort of fancy person. You're just kind of like living your life, doing your thing.
Yeah, just traveling about.
Cool. Well, yeah, I appreciate that you're listening. Maybe we could hear back from you a little bit later. But maybe I should get back into this show in case someone else wants to call.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. I hope Zornak is good this time of year. We just had our New Year's, so we're kind of, everything's reset here on Earth.
Oh, you just cycled around your sun. Got it.
Yeah. It's feeling good. It's like wearing a fresh suit or something like that. Everything seems new and different.
Yeah, we don't circle around our sun as often, but if they call back in, I can talk about that.
Oh yeah. Well, that sounds.
Whatever.
Yeah. It sounds great. Let's do some New Year's chatting later. But thanks again so much for calling. And I'm glad we've got listeners not just all over the world, but all over the universe.
Intergalactic planetary.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you. And for those who were curious, you can also get in on the fun if you want to send your voice or some sounds for the mix. That link is bit.ly/MVM audience participation. Feel free to get on in there and send your stuff our way.
Mid-Valley
Another UFO
Mutations
Supplemental.
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You hear something?
Fact or fiction, myth, menace, or marsh gas.
What did you think when they came to you and said, Hub, on your land is where this UFO crashed? What did you think at first?
Conceited as apes, not all of us. And here we go, and the moment anybody suggests that something should come in outside from outside, we think, oh, no, it can't be that, It's quite out, these things can't happen.
Well, I kind of thought they was full of bull right at the beginning. When it hit, well, then it kind of sat back down. Up there higher is supposedly where one of the little men was sitting on a rock, sitting there, kind of whether scratching his head or whatever,
And I think I do it myself, we're all thinking medievally.
What convinces you more than anything else?
The evidence of the men that have seen them, and primarily the behavior and descriptions of the objects themselves, which do not fit really any other explanation.
I know how the designer feels hearing a thing like this. But Project Skyhook hasn't worked out the way the Defense Department hoped.
trying to figure out what to do next. I've had, people from all over the country. I mean, they've been here from England, Japan, Germany, France.
And the Oldfield sighting, this thing which will become very famous, where a couple who live in a cottage outside Manchester took their first airline journey, and they had aboard a little film, a little cine camera, and they take pictures down of the fields as a couple would the first time they've ever been in an airplane, and she takes what she thinks is an airplane coming up from behind them, and then it goes out of vision in about 12 seconds or thereabouts. And she goes on taking a few more bits of the distant clouds and puts it back. And when they get, what's this thing? I mean, it's inexplicable by any, unless it's a straight fake. And to fake an 8mm film in color wants a lot of equipment. And who on earth are this charming couple? What would they be doing, lending themselves to faking these things? It is nothing airborne we've ever seen.
over the state here. They want to go over there and they want to pick up a rock and, you know, they want to dig around, and some of these psychic type people, you know, come out here. And they, whether or not it's true or not, I mean, they get down there and they get over there next to it, and this one lady, she said, man, the hairs are standing on her head and everything, you know, and I don't know. She really went to screaming and carrying on down there, so I don't know.
I mean, it is basically sausage shaped with 2 dorsal and 2 ventral fins. And as you look at this film, it turns away on its vertical axis from you and disappears out that way.
I just fell in love with old Hub Corn. Something about Hub. Hub charges you $15 to get out to that site. And since we're a television crew, he charged us a lot more.
Well, I mean, you can argue until you're blue in the face. What is it except something that is airborne by a force, probably electrogravitic force of some kind that we know nothing whatever about? It is nothing conventional, it is nothing unconventional aerodynamics. There's no single piece of earth-borne equipment of any kind that can look and behave like that.
Tell me, how many birds have you sent up so far?
11, counting today's.
How many are you in contact with right now?
Just 1, today's.
The old fields, indeed, had not faked anything, but the UFO in their film soon proved explainable. A few days later, an enterprising BBC cameraman took a similar camera, sat in the same seat, and filmed the same English countryside.
To go look at that. But you know, Hub has to stop his ranching duties when duty calls. But you know, let's face it, and you folks who've been to Roswell, there are folks in that town making quite a bit of money off this. People writing books making money. Stanley,
I wrote a book.
I know.
I haven't made a lot of money. I haven't paid for my research costs yet.
But
The same UFO hovered into view, went through the same maneuvers, and disappeared into itself the same way.
I admit we haven't been able to track them visually so far, but we'll correct that.
Don't be too sure of that.
The UFO turned out to be the reflection of the tail section of the plane itself.
ask you an honest question. The folks that are really into the Roswell incident, writing books about investigating, are there some people there who want to keep the mystique going just to make money off of it? Let me ask you an honest question. The folks that are really into the Roswell incident, writing books about investigating, are there some people there who want to keep the mystique going just to make money off of it?
Psychiatrists often call these reported UFO sightings illusions, hallucinations, self-delusions.
Yes, there's no question about that. Two of the books are by a man who's written 78 books of fiction. Apparently nonfiction pays better.
But UFO sightings persist, and skeptics often become confirmed believers. The refraction of light in the Earth's atmosphere is capable of fooling both the human eye and the camera lens.
Written with a postal clerk who was claiming to be a medical illustrator but isn't. Yeah, and there's no question, and Hub, I got to give him credit. He says, you want to come out, fine, pay the freight. He had to buy insurance and stuff like that. His family, who's been there for generations, and there was not even the slightest rumor that this happened there. There's no question about one of the other locations out on the Foster Ranch, which is much further out and much harder to get to, and nobody's going to take you tours out there.
This is Hillsdale, and the girls at Hillsdale College had a night to remember. And that thin, life-giving envelope of atmosphere sets apart the spaceship Earth from its sister planets as it
but the museums, the Walter Haupt, for example, all the members of the board of the International UFO Museum and Research Center, 4th and Main in Roswell, it's a nonprofit institution. They're not paid a dime. It's all volunteers. They've had more than 70,000 visitors there in less than 4 years. And they've got a lot of stuff there. And yeah, they're selling mugs.
Yeah.
You know, and the big celebration will be next year, 50 years. I was there for last year's celebration.
as it spins about the sun at 66,000 miles per hour. One of the problems connected with man's flight through this environment derives from the law of physics governing objects moving at high speeds through the ocean of air.
We can certainly tune them in if they're up there. What I'm trying to tell you is that they're no longer up there.
aircraft moving at high speeds pierce the air compressed before the plane's wing.
That wasn't a meteorite that fell on Panama. It was the burned remains of number 7. I'm sure of that myself.
It's become a tourist attraction. There's no question about that.
Steve Carey, you think some of this just generates so folks can maybe make a little dough off of it, or a lot of dough?
Oh, I think there's little doubt that that's true.
A shock wave results. It's become known as a sonic boom. And even today's comparatively slow-flying military jets alarm some citizens and run up bills for the Defense Department each year from the effect of these shock waves on populated areas.
And intelligence has reports now which convince us that 1 and 3 fell over Africa, number 5 around the North Pole, and 9 and 10 along the Andes.
You hear something?
Cal?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's in my current book, the last chapter is about the case and some lessons learned, and my main message is think critically, folks. In other words, it's like the Kennedy assassination. No one questions how it went down. It's an issue of which conspiracy killed him, right? So years later, you've got people coming forth saying, I was there. Truth is they weren't there. We hear there's over 500 Roswell witnesses now. That's impossible. So it's out of control. I think we need to go back to the beginning, start over, separate the signal from the noise, and I'm in the hunt to try to separate.
And be objective.
Absolutely.
And call me if you know anything about the case and we're really there and can back it up.
We got to take another break here. We're going to have more on Roswell just ahead here on Town Hall on this Sunday night. And still to come, viewers sound off to our media coverage of our wild weather. That was the subject of Town Hall last week. Stay with us, everybody.
Question: why have no UFOs ever created an identical phenomenon?
The rest can be presumed to have been lost someplace at sea. What happens to them? Apparently, they blow up in outer space.
When they're reported,
there's nothing explosive in them.
You can take it from me. When a rocket's blasted off, it should circle the Earth for a long time. That is, unless what? Unless something shoots them down as fast as we set them up there.
I don't feel we needed coverage from 5:30 in the morning till midnight at night. We needed to know the information, but I don't think we needed to be bombarded by it.
No gun in the world can shoot that high. No. No, of course not.
When they're reported moving at speeds far in excess of jet planes, as this film made by Mrs. Madeline Rotifer in 1965 purports to show.
We have not been hiding anything. The investigations have been made public. The explanations of those where there is a clear explanation have been made public. The hearing this morning was public for just that reason. In those cases where for lack of data or lack of a convincing hypothesis, the sighting has been kept in the unidentified category, we've been perfectly willing to say that too.
Further, if the laws of nature prevent jet aircraft from abruptly changing direction without breaking up aircraft and passengers, why would a UFO be exempt from the same effect at greater speeds? The answer of most scientists is that we are not dealing with material objects from outer space at all. But with lights, reflections, and natural phenomena. But UFO sightings persist, and skeptics often become confirmed believers.
Bring food for your coffee.
Ah, my special barbecue.
Mm-hmm. That's to make up for not telling you about our getting married.
It was kind of sudden for us, too.
Sudden? I've only been after him for a year.
I don't need to...
Sudden? I've only been after him for a year.
I don't need to tell you, both of you, how pleased I am. Well, I'm glad of that.
I don't feel we needed coverage from 5:30 in the morning till midnight at night. We needed to know the information, but I don't think we needed to be bombarded by it.
All will be studied and analyzed.
wouldn't like it very much if you weren't. Thank you. Russ, what were you driving at back there? About something shooting down one of the satellites.
Former director of the Harvard Observatory, now a member of the Smithsonian, Professor Donald H. Menzel.
Many people looking up into the sky can see a bright object on the horizon. They think that this object is a UFO, when actually, as we scientists know, it can be an effect of the Earth's atmosphere, that through a layer of hot air that is entrapped above a layer of cold air near the ground, we get an effect which we call a mirage.
While there is nothing conclusive in the evidence, the probing and digesting of information about UFOs continues unceasingly.
Of the Greek philosophers believed the universe had existed forever. If the universe had existed forever, why did it take an infinite time to reach the present stage?
There is grandeur in this view of life. With its several powers, having been originally breathed into a few forms or into one. And that whilst this planet has gone circling on according to the fixed law of gravity. From so simple a beginning, endless forms, most beautiful and most wonderful, have been and are being evolved.
This raises deep philosophical questions about the meaning of existence.
Mid-Valley
Another UFO
Mutations.
Supplemental.
Oh, that was a blast from the past there. That actually was recorded live on my program many, many, many years ago. I think that was 2009, but I could be mistaken. I'll have to dig around and see what the story was behind that one. It's Neil Admirari, who used to run a little bit of a thing called Battle Snakes, a kind of net label of indie and all sorts of different stuff from the Portland area. And we've done some shows together, and that guy was pretty active when I lived there. I feel like he was one of those people who was like very busy all the time, but maybe that was just my memory. And we had all sorts of different mixes and things like that going on in the other section of that show. And then we also had John Coltrane starting that off. And then a phone call. From planet Zornak, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that was a recording from 2009. When I had Battle Snakes on. It was May 10th. I had two of the different Battle Snakes there. Nil and Alpha Protist, I think, is if I remember correctly. Good times, good times. I haven't thought about those guys in a million years. Then I saw that I had that recording on my computer, and I was like, oh, I got to play that. First show of the new year, kicking the new year off right by doing another UFO supplemental, trying to get our minds in gear for a different way of thinking. And I have a lot of fun trying to do these shows, but they are a little bit attention intensive. And so I often find myself in a situation where I can't respond to the digital salon. which is a bummer because I'd love to be cutting it up with Bandit and Mr. X if I could, but I just don't have the bandwidth. The bandwidth for Bandit. Well, we got all sorts of fun stuff coming up for the last hour here. And we're going to be doing some UFO things for a little while. So if you've got some UFO stories, you want to make a call and tell your tale, give us your perspective, call it what you will. I'd love to hear that. I mean, Mr. X makes a comment here about Superman and Santa Claus, and that perhaps Superman is a human-shaped UFO. I should point out that I have a UFO book somewhere in my collection here in the archive that talks about how there were human flying sightings in the years kind of before UFOs, where they would kind of sight humans flying around in the sky in some form or another. And none of those sightings were ever taken as meaningful, but some ufologists think that that is the kind of precursor to the modern UFO sighting. And you'll probably hear me talk more about that with Mr. X when we get our call on the show soon. I think we've all been feeling a little space loneliness. Maybe we can relate to this one. For those who are curious about that in-studio performance where that Nil Admirari track came from, I just dropped a link into the Digital Salon that has the entire show from 2009 for you to enjoy. It's a different era of the show, different time, different era, lots of things going on back then, and I hopefully found. I hope I'm not too embarrassing if you do choose to listen to that. That was pre-Sheena's Jungle Room and WFMU for sure, so you won't hear any of that kind of stuff on in the mix. You'll just you just hear me. Let's see. February we do have. Let me try taking that sentence again, where I'm actually enunciating the words. In February, we have Arvo Zylo returning to the show, and a few other things here and there coming soon. I know Mr. X and I actually have a whole lot of stuff about dreams that we been meaning to get to. Returning to my dream theme from almost a year ago now. So we want to get to that. And I think we also will have to finish our Saturn Returns story, since it's coming up on the 28th anniversary soon. And so we might want to return to the show that was 27 themed before we move on to something else soon. So yeah, lots of things that I'm going to get back to, but I think they're all going to be live kind of situations where we'll do different stuff on the show in different live ways and explore the way that we can do that kind of stuff. And for those who are curious, the phone lines are still open. bit.ly/MVM audience participation, all one word. You can see the links at the top of the page if you want to get in on this. This is your way to send your audio to the show in question. Well, let's kind of get back into things here. It's Mid-Valley Mutations, Sheena's Jungle Room, WFMU, and it sounds a little like this when I'm in the mood.
I don't feel we needed coverage from 5:30 in the morning until midnight at night. We needed to know the information, but I don't think we needed to be bombarded by it.
Persistent reports of UFOs, unidentified flying objects, which we have come to know as flying saucers.
Take a look at this. These are pictures from the Hubble telescope, sent back these amazing pictures of what scientists think are the most distant and oldest galaxies ever captured on film.
We saw what appeared to be a flying saucer. That's all we can say.
Now, to demonstrate this, I have sort of a Earth's atmosphere in this jar. Now, to demonstrate this, I have a sort of a Earth's atmosphere in this jar.
Mid-Valley
Another UFO.
Mutations.
Supplemental.
General, we saw a strange thing this afternoon. We saw what appeared to be a flying saucer.
Persistent reports of UFOs, unidentified flying objects which we have come to know as flying saucers.
A flying saucer?
It nearly ran into us.
You're sure of it? Both Carol and I are subject to the same atmospheric disturbances that may have affected other observers, but there is a qualitative difference when you're a scientist.
Now, those aren't UFOs. Those are something that we deal with. Mother Nature's absolutely fantastic. The galaxies out there, everything, outer space. Tom, forget about the Roswell incident just for a second. But with all those galaxies out there and all the numbers that they throw on, billions and millions, and isn't it possible there is life on other planets? Doesn't it just seem like most likely there is? How do you come down on that?
This is a layer of benzene, which is a very high index of refraction, and it acts like a layer of cold air. And I am now putting on top of it, floating on it, a layer of acetone, which is a layer of liquid of lesser refractive index. It acts like a layer of hot air.
Well, I mean, we're one planet around one star, one of 9 planets around one star that has life. I think anything's possible. I mean, it's just, you would almost be foolish to say it wasn't possible.
Now, some of the astronauts have seen some strange things.
They have seen things.
Strange things.
On the screen, we will see a bright light that's being projected from the ground level here and passing through the acetone on the benzene.
They have seen things.
We do have one piece of supporting evidence, an accidental recording of the sounds it made. The tape is in the lab at the project.
They have seen things.
And now we will turn out the lights, and you see on the screen that the bright spot of light that was originally traversing this artificial atmosphere and appeared at the top of the screen gradually dims. And a line of colored light streams out down below.
I'd like you to hear it tomorrow.
You both saw this?
Yes.
Excuse me.
This spot. And finally, the spot near the top of the screen disappears, and we see instead a beautifully colored and rapidly moving spot. The colors are due to refraction.
They have seen things. Unfortunately, it's like everything else, though. Nobody seems to have any evidence, and the astronauts are the same as the people on the ground here. They're just as human as you and me.
The red color sometimes is attributed to the presence of a rapidly moving jet.
All will be studied and analyzed.
If there is life elsewhere, as well as the ones supposedly that have landed here, I think the scientific community would love to get their hands on some of it so we could actually prove its existence.
We have not been hiding anything.
One of our town hall viewers, George, here had an interesting take on the whole thing. He said if this thing crashed and there were alien bodies and there were spacecrafts, your question is how'd they move this darn thing, right?
The blue color is sometimes interpreted as motion toward the observer. It's all an effect of a mirage. And yet, this has been reported again and again by experienced pilots who have thought that they were being attacked by a UFO from outer space.
We have not been hiding anything.
Well, it's not a question. I looked into it. You could not have moved an object the size of the alleged UFOs at that time. I was involved in the aerospace industry for many years, and we had to move large objects for one program or another. I talked to the Heavy Haulers Association in Washington, D.C., to several other organizations that were involved in moving things. In 1947, you could not have moved an object, a discoidal object, say 25 feet in diameter or larger, and we have claims of disks crashing up to 100 feet in diameter. You could not have moved those from the Roswell area to Wright-Patterson Field or even to Langley Field. We had no planes, we had no trains.
Didn't have the technology then?
No, we did not. And we did not have the highway system. People look at I-84 and I-5 when they're dry, of course, and see all these things going up and down them, but those trucks aren't as big as you think they are.
Let's get...
We have not been hiding anything.
Captain Holloway, sir. Sign here, please. Who's Holloway?
He's on monitor duty this evening.
This is a type of sundog. Ice crystals in an otherwise transparent atmosphere reflect light from the sun, and it produces a saucer-shaped body that can maneuver, rush in toward the plane, or sometimes move rapidly away as the density of ice crystals thins out.
Let's get some thoughts on this. Why are you convinced, Mr. Friedman, why are you convinced that there is a cover-up and there's definitely something there?
Well,
There are brilliant meteors, the shooting stars that flash through the sky. There are many cases on record where a pilot and a co-pilot have seen the identical flare in front of their plane, and one of them has pulled up the plane abruptly in an attempt to maneuver to miss it. But
Mid-Valley
Another UFO
Mutations.
Supplemental.
I showed you some of the documents. I've been researching UFOs for 38 years. I've been to 15 archives. I worked under security myself. There's no question the documents prove it. That government agencies are withholding data, facts, reports, documents.
We have not been hiding anything.
Anybody who says there isn't, my CD-ROM. If you want everything you always wanted to know about flying saucers, I wish all those 700,000 people would buy one.
But actually, the other pilot claimed that it was an object 70 or 100 miles away, which actually it was.
We have not been hiding anything.
Cal, final thoughts from you. Why? And when, or why should we still question?
Because whatever UFOs turn out to be, ultimately, answer-wise, we can only benefit from that answer. Let's assume, just for the heck of it, that there's nothing to it, it's all some delusion of ours. We have nuclear weapons. We would need to know whether we have such delusions. So we can only benefit by studying UFO cases. Minimum, insight into how we work. Maximum, maybe, life visiting us.
All will be studied and analyzed. We just lost contact with number 11.
Oh, Russ, I'm sorry.
Is it still in range of our receivers?
If it hasn't been knocked down,
Look. What are
lights.
They're what the pilots call pool lights.
St. Elmo's fire in ancient times. Superstitious regard them as omens of things to come.
Okay, and the name of your book again?
Spaceships of the Pleiades, the Billy Meyer story, has a science in there on how to investigate UFOs objectively.
Steve, we'll let you wrap it up for our experts here. What would you tell viewers tonight?
Well, I think it would be marvelous if there had been contact. I think the highest likelihood is that when there is contact, and there may well be at some point in the future, it will be electronic contact, not personal contact. And I would only ask that the other side in this debate keep an open mind, as I'll try to do.
Since biblical times, man has witnessed and recorded strange manifestations in the sky.
In addition to mirages in the atmosphere, many physical objects in the air have been taken for saucers. Like this translucent balloon that can carry instruments up to 100,000 feet, birds, kites, pieces of paper, and the planets.
Persistent reports of UFOs, unidentified flying objects which we have come to know as flying saucers.
If the evidence suggests that you're wrong, well, at some point,
Okay.
admit it.
Of course. We're going to take a break, but stay put because we're going to have results of our telepoll, everybody, when Town Hall continues on this Sunday night. Do you believe the government is covering evidence of UFOs? Final results here. When we come back, you can call in. Your last chance.
We have not been hiding anything. The investigations have been made public. The explanations of those where there is a clear explanation have been made public. The hearing this morning was public for just that reason. In those cases where for lack of data or lack of a convincing hypothesis, the sighting has been kept in the unidentified category, we've been perfectly willing to say that too.
Have often been claimed as UFOs. But a little bit of logic goes a long way for those who wish to be persuaded, as we shall see in a moment.
The best science has been able to make out of them is that they're electric particles agitated by moving air. Same principle as the aurora borealis.
There have been so many around the project the last couple of days, we all just take them for granted.
You guys have cable television. Welcome back to Town Hall, everybody, talking about the mystery at Roswell. Here are the results of our telepoll tonight. We asked it at the top of the hour, do you think the government is hiding evidence of flying saucers?
We have not been hiding anything.
UFOs. Well, most folks say yes, they are. Isn't that interesting? Almost 4,000 viewers have called in.
We have not been hiding anything.
The Roswell story has reached a whole new audience since we first aired this program, thanks to the blockbuster movie Independence Day.
Here again is CBS Reports UFO, friend, foe, or fantasy.
So you will see that this, instead of being a subject for ridicule and a big joke, actually is a serious matter which could affect the lives of all of us.
Saucer fans are often devoted readers of science fiction.
Bird 11 ought to be visible in the sky right now on its second lap around the world. Look! There it is!
Was that it? Yes. Well, surely you're not going to send up number 12 tomorrow after this. I have to. Why? With the television pickup cameras and microphone. I should have done it before. This time I'm going to know what's happening up there and know the reason why. Come on, let's finish our dinner.
It's about an alien invasion of Earth with the Roswell incident and its consequences at the heart of the action. If you want to talk salaries that are out of this world, look no further than the NBA. Our Town Hall hot button this week, the multi-million-dollar figures athletes and agents are throwing around right now in contract talks. Michael Jordan's latest contract is a reported $25 million for 1 year. And broadcast reports say Kenny Anderson may sign a 7-year deal with the Trailblazers at $50 million.
We have not been hiding anything.
Checking TV pickup. Getting a good image?
Fine.
TV's okay. I'll be down in a couple of minutes.
We want to hear what you think of these superstar sports salaries. Do they deserve it, or is the whole thing out of control? We'd like to hear from you. Call our producers at 736-3415 for your chance to talk back about this hot-button issue or anything else you see on Town Hall. And here's how you reacted to last week's hot button on a fantasy video store opening near 3 schools on West Burnside.
It seems like we might have another caller. Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, hey, not bad, not bad. Winding things down. How are you?
Oh, jeez, sorry. I zoned out. I don't know why I zoned out. Yeah, it's me, Bandit. Hi.
How are you? Hope you're having a good time.
Yeah, no, I'm having a great time. That alien caller was sure interesting.
Yeah, it's funny because we've heard from them a couple of times now, and we're starting to get a small picture of the planet Zornak.
The cosmos, even. Yeah.
It's definitely kind of it's opening this show up in a big way, which I like.
Yeah, it must be like awesome to know that like your show is like broadcasting out into the intergalactic ether. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Although I have to imagine that a lot of that is just the reputation of Sheena's Jungle Room and WFMU.
I mean, also your reputation too.
Well, perhaps.
You're a pretty cool dude.
Perhaps, but yeah. Anyway, do you have any thoughts on all of this UFO stuff and Roswell and
UFOs in general?
Yeah, I mean, this considering the heaviness of the Roswell conversation tonight. What is your take on that? That is kind of one of the fundamental UFO sightings.
I mean, like that's like the UFO sighting, right? That's like the one everybody talks about.
Yeah. I mean, just in terms of like kind of ground zero.
Yeah. Funny enough, I had just for my birthday, I had bought an I'm from the Western New York area. Mm-hmm. I bought a book of it's specifically about UFO sightings in New York.
Oh.
And it's from like one of those publishers that publishes like kind of like weird, far out type of like idea type of like metaphysical stuff.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been fun reading through them.
Nice. Because this is all like, stuff that's regional. You actually kind of know a little bit about the area that these sightings are documented.
Yeah. Most of them are like the New York City area.
I see.
So like I'm over on the other side of the state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, it is kind of funny how people talk about New York and then they should probably put a comma and say, actually, I'm talking about the city, not the state.
Yeah, that tend to happen a lot, especially in college, because all the kids from New York City would come to over here to our area of New York, and you could immediately tell, mostly by the thick Brooklyn accent,
who was local and who was visiting.
Yeah. And so, like, or if you mentioned, like, oh yeah, such and such place is a city, they'll be like, this is not a city.
Right.
Okay. Cool. No, to get to not to deviate too much. Yeah, it's really weird. Like the book starts out like talking about Joseph Smith, because Joseph Smith was from the New York area, and it talks about how, at least the author's theory is that the angel Moroni wasn't actually an angel, but an extraterrestrial being.
Wow.
Talking to Joseph Smith, and I'm just like, wow, okay, I know what I'm in for.
Wow, this sheds a whole new light on that Book of Mormon.
Yeah, it's just like,
wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Kind of makes it. Is the Mormon faith a UFO cult?
Right. I mean, the Mormon faith is already a pretty strange and odd organization. Pardon if I offend anyone, but
it's a little weird.
It's a little strange. There's some odd history involved with that faith. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And if it turned out that it was all aliens the whole time, wow.
On the one hand, I would be surprised. On the other, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that tracks. That makes sense.
This suddenly makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. I'm with you.
I do have a thing for you to sample if you want.
Oh yeah.
I threw it in the I can't speak. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
the chat. It's the it's the intro to UFO. The Jerry Anderson.
Oh yes.
Live action show.
Quite familiar with that show myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, let's throw some British sci-fi in there.
Nice.
Oh, I just had a thought. I'm so sorry. I should have pulled up this clip before I came in.
Well, that's okay. We're getting close to the end here, actually, so we might not have much time for some additional clips, but we're getting a comment in real time here. Loving the NYS content. I had the exact experience with NYC kids in college, and my aunt and uncle live right near Hill Cumorah. Cumorah, spelling possibly wrong. That's a comment from the Digital Salon.
You're fine. If I remember correctly, I think Heather is from around Rochester.
That's true. Yes. She always brings the Rochester content.
I'm in Buffalo, so that's west.
Yeah. People shuffle off to your city quite often, from what I hear.
Yeah, just don't say Buffalo to Milton Berle or the Three Cities. Slowly turn, step by step.
Yeah, many years ago, before I was married, I dated a girl from Buffalo, and she had moved to Portland using the logic that it was the furthest away that she could think of from where she grew up. And so she's like, well, I'll just move to Portland. That's like the opposite side of the country.
that is pretty far.
And so we dated for a while, and then I helped her move back out to the East Coast because she wanted to move to Virginia, and so we drove all of her stuff out to Virginia. I feel like I've told you this story before. Maybe I haven't.
I think you might have told me that in chat, either on the Wiggle Room or on Barno's.
Oh, that makes a lot of that. See, now that's why I'm it's ringing a bell.
Yeah.
Heather continues to chime in. Sister cities along with Syracuse, but I don't know what people in Syracuse do as opposed to Buffalo and Rochester, fun towns both. I don't know anybody from Syracuse that I think
my old roommate was from Syracuse.
Yeah, it's one of those places where I feel like it's a place name that comedians use, but I don't know anything about it.
It very much has the vibe of we're the middle of New York, and we don't know whether we want to be like New York City or be like Western New York.
I imagine there's a little bit of a pressure to either conform to the expectation or to react against the expectation violently.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a little bit of that here in the Northwest because we certainly have a reputation now, not just because of the old school 90s Northwest flannel reputation, but since then you have like the Sleater-Kinney hipster Portlandia kind of.
I was gonna say Portlandia is like a big, like, in my mind, that sticks out for the Northwest.
Yeah,
leaves that vibe.
Yeah, so you get a lot of people who either completely revel in that, and they're kind of like, oh yeah, this is, you know, how I relate to Portlandia, or they're like the reactionary against it, where they're like, oh no, I'm normal. I live in the suburbs. I drive a normal car. I hate all that weirdo stuff.
I do not own a penny farthing.
Right, exactly. My mustache is not waxed. What are you talking about?
Slowly hides the whale wax container.
Right, exactly.
Everybody sees it. Before the show ends, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Have you experienced any UFO?
You know, yeah, I think I'm going to table this one because we get into this a little bit in the conversation that Mr. X and I are going to bring to the show, I think, next episode.
Okay.
I don't want to... I'll tease that there is a tiny bit of a story, and I think I tell it to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. I tune in anyways, but like that just makes me want to tune in more.
Oh, that's very sweet, Bandit. I love it. Well, anything else before we wrap this up? Because I think we are basically kind of bringing the train into the station, or I guess the UFO into the Roswell.
I sent you the theme. I don't know if you want to use that for like any future samplings, and then I sent you the this is real corny. The heartbeat noise that the Daleks use a lot of the times when like they're on the spaceships, the Dalek saucers on Doctor Who.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put that in the show somewhere soon.
Yeah, the video is really old, so like it sounds really compressed.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I can always email you a better sounding one if I find one.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of Doctor Who stuff on the show, which is funny because that was the quintessential weird sci-fi show when I was growing up, where you would catch it late at night and you'd be like, what the hell is this? It's cheap,
like on PBS.
Yeah, it's like cheap and weird, but it's also cool, and
it's so great. I love it.
Yeah, I get a lot of, if I see an old Tom Baker episode, man, I am 13 again.
Yeah, it's one of those shows, like, because like I don't watch TV at all, like but like Doctor Who has been the one show where like I will go out of my way to spend money to watch television.
Because they keep making new ones too. Like it's ongoing.
Yeah. I've told myself I will be 100 and I will still be watching this show.
You'll be in good company. I went to Worldcon this year. I met a lot of Whovians, and they were all pretty proud. So
that's on the bucket list. Worldcon.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for calling in, and maybe next time we can get some more from Planet Zarnak and find out a little more about that place. I feel
hopefully so. That I was on edge. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Alien?
That alien seems to like our show, and they're in good company because Mr. X is also from another planet. So I think things are going to work out.
Aren't we all?
If they want to be
we
friends.
all from other planets?
Yes. Okay, we're getting into the real deal here. Well, thank you so much, and we'll be seeing you next time.
See you soon.
Young minds are pliable. The fact the laws do not cover this and protect children from very young into high schoolers is what corruptors like fantasy video are using.
I think it's a free world. He should be able to open up a business anywhere he feels he can open up a business, as long as he's not hurting anyone and no one is going into his store that's not supposed to be there. Then leave the man alone. Give the guy a break. We're adults.
and fantasy and fantasization is very healthy.
I don't think the adult video stores or anything like that should be anywhere near the school or anywhere near the town. Put them someplace out there in the middle of nowhere if you have to have them.
Hello, I think you should let business owners do their own thing. After all, this is America, isn't it?
And here's what you'll see next week on Town Hall.
Whenever a man does something for a woman and she didn't have to ask you, that's romance.
The best-selling author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus reveals his secrets to a happy, lasting relationship next week.
Thanks to all our guests, and thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.
It turns out men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Who would have known? Well, apparently the producers of the Town Hall show, that's who. Well, what can I say? Thank you so much for putting up with my nonsense tonight and giving me a little bit of a chance to do some more UFO investigations. Weigh in on whether or not you want to see video of this. I put a link to actual video production of the last episode if you guys are interested, and I can do more, but really only if it's something that people are interested in. You guys are wonderful, you guys are beautiful, and without you there would be no program. More UFOs next week. Be seeing you.
Mid-Valley Mutations was produced for Sheena's Jungle Room on WFMU. Created by Austin Rouge and Mitch Headroom. Theme songs by Shadows in Blue. Visit shadowsinblue.bandcamp.com for more information. Emotional support, Marla, Leander, Oryx and Craig. Local denizens of the Mid-Valley, where the magic happens. Engineering and technical support by the Lava Lamp Lounge, where the elite meet to make radio treats that can't be beat. More information, austinrich.org. If you've heard this story before, don't stop me, because I'd like to hear it again.
Mid-Valley
Be seeing you.
Mutations.
Army fighter planes are on patrol for flying saucers. Cameras installed to photograph them. Portland, Oregon, the area from which came the first weird report.